Test, test. All right, that's awesome. Hi, folks. My name's Dave. I'm a wood turner. I started turning as therapy for PTSD. Found out I had a knack for it, and then I fell in love with it. Then I started teaching it and fell in love with that. So I started this channel to become a better teacher, a better demonstrator, and a better turner because the secret sauce is practice. That's there's no shortcuts, unfortunately. So thanks for joining me. This is Halloween week. I had planned on being at a undisclosed location in Traverse City. Actually, I'd be planned at um, heading over to TC Schmo's place across town. I was not expecting to have the lathe parts as early as they got here, so the lathe is fixed. And since I have all the tools that I need here and all that, it kind of just made sense not to have to tear everything up, go across town just to come back and set it all up again. So I definitely appreciate the invite. Thank you, TC Schmo and Wiley Smiley Kali. I will just hang out here. So, this being what Halloween is just a couple of days away. Friday, in fact, I guess. I thought it'd be fun, as I said last night, to turn and carve a pumpkin out of wood. We're gonna make it a box too. Um, la 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 la. So let's turn this guy down. And what I have here, I don't know if this is gonna help any. That's a little too much. That guy is a little too much. Oh well, that's the way it goes. Let's hit that. All right. So I've got this piece of maple. Maple will carve nicely. It's also a piece of crotchwood. On this particular piece, I had intended on. Oh, I've got to turn it around. I had intended on using it for something else. I have this. There's a split in it where there was a pith as this dried. Um, so I had marked off a section of this that I was going to cut off and use this for other projects. So what I'm going to do is use this end that I was going to cut off to make a pumpkin shape and then carve it. I'm still on the fence about whether or not I'm actually going to paint it. Unless I can get, I think I might be able to. I thought about dyes, but I didn't want it to be too strong. So I will definitely, if I do it that way, need to um, thin them down. I was going to say water them down, but they're alcohol dust, so that doesn't quite make sense. As far as the acrylics I'd have to really water them down too, which I could do just to make a wash. So I'm on the fence about that. But one of the reasons, or the main reason that I had marked this section off to not use it was because of that split. Well, since I'm turning a pumpkin, those little features and stuff like that are in pumpkins all over the place. So I'm going to turn it, and if it disappears, cool. If it stays, also cool. And I'll go through the different stages of what I do, or normally what I was thinking of doing. What I would do normally is turn and carve it, hollow it out. Maybe this time I'm going to hollow it out, but that wouldn't be a hard and fast. Um, and then I would just set it on fire, scorch the outside, brush that off, um, wash it with black ink, let that dry, and then maybe do some dry brushing. But I like the grain of this, and it is a piece of crotchwood, so I'm hoping to bring some of that out. We'll just see. We'll just see where we get. So I got my Dremel set up and ready to go. Let's see, where can I can plug it in. Wait, does that go? That goes to that light. Okay, cool. So I could actually use that plug. I could use a micro motor, but since I have the 1/8 inch shanks for these particular carving burrs, where actually these aren't. These are 3/32, but I have a different collet in there. I was going to play with a dental tool, but then it's turn on the air compressor and let that cycle on and off a lot. And I thought, you know what, we'll just use the Dremel. So this will be nice because, again, this is last night. This was awesomely quiet. Okay, so I got my tool set. I need another light. There we go. And I'm going to start just kind of generally making a pumpkin shape. I don't know that this is the diameter I'm going to keep, but some of that hopefully figure will show up in the pumpkin. I thought that might be pretty cool. Okay, glasses down. Oops, actually, I need to. You know what? Bear with me, folks. I really should wash these really quick, so I will be right back. So I don't know how many folks out there in Twitch land celebrate Halloween. I used to as a kid, candy. But when I was a kid, man, you could stay out till 1, 2 in the morning. People would still be giving out candy. At least in one place I lived at when I was in grade school, and it wasn't unusual for us to take pillowcases and walk, go down many blocks to get those cases filled, and then swap masks or something like that, and then just go back to the same houses and hit them again. I mean, I bet that they probably knew we were doing that, but if it would like me, I'd be like, I don't care. Here, please take the candy. So that may be part of it too, but that's just something we did, and we'd stay out till midnight, 1 o'clock, trick or treating, and didn't have to worry about weird, crazy shenanigans. At least in the area that I was living at, or my family. I guess I would have been there with them too. So hey. Okay, so those are now washed. Anyway, I don't know if you celebrate, but I thought as a theme, what the heck, man? Let's turn and carve a pumpkin. Now, I could have sworn that I had, and I may have used them all up actually, but I could have sworn I had some battery operated tea lights because I'm going to haul this thing out. Turns out, what I have are candle tea lights, actual candles. So I'm not going to light the pumpkin up with a candle that has a flame. I think that might be a. Not if I don't want to, burn things down. So this is all gonna clear. I'm secure. I did check that. Let's check that one more time. It's been a minute. Okay, that's pretty secure. I don't know that I really need that. And away we go. Where are we sitting at? That's a good speed. Just lost the robust tool handle. Got a little bit of vibration apparently from this piece. Okay, let's see. Do I want a wide, fat pumpkin, tall, skinny, circular? I don't know, man. Let's just. Clear here. cool thing is it doesn't have to be a perfect shape, and I'm actually gonna kind of, sort of. I guess that doesn't matter either. I was thinking about kind of boogering it up a little bit anyway, but I'm gonna have to do quite a bit of coloring. And now I remember that I want to have a lid that matches, so I'm actually going to have to shift this, and I think that's kind of wide for what I want anyway. I'm going to go with this diameter here. So we'll just shift everything up. I'll leave a bit here to be able to turn and carve the lid, and then be able to hollow this out and the grain more or less match. If I was going to paint it, scorch it, burn the outside and then paint it, it wouldn't really matter. But I'd really like to have the grain light up. Would like that. So I think I will opt for a slightly taller pumpkin. That would probably be the right diameter. I want to think about carving a leaf or two. I'll leave space for that. And for the stem. Let's see. Let's take it down a little bit more, closer to. Actually, come to think of it, I can hand carve the stem too if I want to. Let's take this down a little bit. I will want a. Yeah, I want a curve stem. Why not? And I think that should probably be good enough. And then for the leaves, that'll definitely be deep enough. Does leave me a little bit. Okay, let's take this one. All right, so it leaves me a little bit for the leaves. It's probably thicker than I need, so let's go ahead and take that down. That'll just give me a little bit more. For the stem. So the leaves will be right there. So I will put. I'm trying to figure out. I think I'll make the diameter of the lid a little bit wider than that. Something like that, maybe. every turner is responsible for their own safety ultimately. I do hope we kind of inspire people to, explore what they can do with their tools. Let's see, I think I will part it off there. Okay, I need to think about this just for a second. Okay, I'm going to take it back a little bit more. I'm going to need to put an expansion hold inside here. And it's got to be just ever so slightly domed. I probably have plenty here, but I'm going to take off a little bit more. So I'll part it there. Let's go ahead and at least take a look at how that looks. Yeah, so that I think that'll be fine. So now that's how wide-ish the hole for the pumpkin is going to be. Let's do a little bit flat there. Guess I'm going to wind up using a little bit more than I thought, but this part here is really what I had in mind for. I was going to make one of my tiered boxes out of this, but this is the piece I really wanted to keep in turn, so that's why I'm using this end. But I'm pretty close to where I need to part it off. It's just I was saving it for that feature. I'm not sure how I'm going to fill that in. It might be epoxy. I'll have to figure that out. But anyway, all the figure is in here. It is like where'd that go? There is an area. There it is. An area that is just slightly. It's a really fine grained punkiness to it. So it'll sand out okay. But another reason why I chose this guy to carve a pumpkin out of it. Pumpkins have all kinds of different bumps and wigglies and stuff on them. So yeah, getting there. I think that'll be a good size right there. So basically, I'm using a full cut and just cleaning up the surface. It's a little bit modified where the tool rest is at and all that. Normally, you want to have your pull cut way down low, and I can do that here. The only real difference is where I'm cutting on the blade or the edge of the tool. Yeah, that's looking all right. I'm working on going around a corner, I like to get a lot of the math out of the way. Okay, that's a good shape right there. All right, groovy. When I'm putting something off, I like to do two things, and that is just go in by stages and kind of open it up a little bit. It's more or less like I'm taking a half of the distance or the width of the face and just making a slightly like a half curve on one side, and then just working that back and forth to get down so the tool doesn't get bound up in the timber, the spinning timber. And the other thing I like to do is not part all the way through. Another possible, creating a pinch point to grab the tool. A lot of things could happen, so I want to eliminate all of the all of the design changing elements that I can. Oh wait, before I do this, we want to make sure we got a hold for a dovetail. Da 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 da. That's a little too much of an angle. Alright, go with that. Sorry, I'm thinking about this again and actually realizing that I don't have a flat shoulder. And I probably could have gotten away with it just fine, but again, let's eliminate all of the design changing elements to the turning that we can or that we need to. Whatever. Happy accidents are happy accidents, but we have a general idea. I guess that wouldn't matter with this piece, but again, I just don't like to part all the way through because things can get caught up, fly off the lathe, bound up, all that, creating a pinch point. So let's not have a rotating pinch point. All right, let me set this aside. Get here. Looks like a good spot. Get rid of this guy. Excuse me. No. so much nicer. Okay, let's see how it goes having a chuck on it now, since I repaired this dude. There you are. Well, I suppose I could have made a smaller tenon, and I suppose I will probably need to. So we're going to swag it here. Oh, let me get rid of that. Turns out I don't have that tool over here. It's close. Hey, how you doing? Hope you're having an enjoyable day.
Kingsley_0127 said, how's streaming going?
Well, I enjoy doing it, so I'm going to say it's good. Picking up the odd new subscriber and more people following the channel, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, starting to build a kind of a group of regulars, I guess, which is kind of neat. I didn't when I started this whole endeavor. That's not something I really thought about. So it's kind of neat to be part of the Twitch community, but also, be starting, like another small subset of that. People hanging out and talking and all that about woodturning. So yeah. So welcome to the channel. Okay. So I was going to park that off there, but let me. Good deal.
underscore 0127 said, it's a great pleasure to be here.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. All right. So, what I've left myself, because I'm going to do some carving tonight, is a piece for the stem that I'm going to carve. And I'm really thinking about carving leaves, so we'll see how that works out. This will be the lid. Need to be slightly domed, so that will be that. And then hollow this dude out. So I'm going to part this off. Before I do that, though, give myself just a little bit of a hold here so I can flip this around in the chuck and make my expansion hold inside the lid. Now I can part this guy off. So this will be kind of interesting because most of the pumpkins I have turned have been solid. It's not a big deal to turn a box. It's the carving part that I'm wondering about. All right, so that will be that.
Kingsley underscore 0127 said, where are the goals, people?
That's mine so far. We'll see how the wood responds, how all that goes. Let's get that out of the way. Don't need you up here now. You can get back in the door. Wrong direction. And then, oh boy. Oh yeah, put the mallet down too. So let's get this set up to hollow. And I'm not going to make it a thin-walled vessel. I want to leave enough to be able to carve the ridges of the pumpkin in it. And I'm going to draw that out a little bit later.
0127 said, I noticed you don't have engagement on your channel. Aren't you working towards building a strong audience fan base?
I guess I don't understand what you mean. I don't have engagement on the channel. I'm not sure. Could you please explain? I'm willing to learn more. This is something I've been trying to follow along and with all the updates and learn how to best use Twitch. So I'm not sure what you mean, and I sure would like to hear your thoughts. That would be awesome.
Kingsley underscore 0127 said, it's actually hard to explain it all here. You get it, just like
I do not. Yeah, no, sorry. But maybe I should set one up. I am looking for other platforms to get, the stream and videos out to that aren't, YouTube and.
Kingsley underscore 0127 said, Oh, right. Which social media platforms are inactive on where we can connect?
Instagram, uh, Facebook. I've got. I don't sit a lot on Facebook, but Instagram is probably the quickest. Wow, thank you. I appreciate you be willing to talk with me and help me figure that out.
00127. Say, all right, let's add up an IG.
Groovy. I am
Kingsley underscore
typically a
0127. Say, what's your username on IG?
Dave underscore Rife, just like it is here on Twitch. And there it's well, it's Dave. That's my username. Basically, wood turns to art, but also put beekeeping videos up there too, which is fun for me. But I don't do a lot of those because where I have to, I don't have
Kingsley underscore 0127.
internet out
Say,
there.
we drop you a message now on IG.
Thanks, appreciate it. I am more of an afternoon, evening kind of person, so hopefully that also works for you. But I will do my best to make myself available to your schedule. I would appreciate the advice. Or any kind of, direction, whatever, because I really don't understand a lot of this social media stuff, and some of that's because I'm just an old guy. But I do want to build a, I guess fan base is the right word. And slowly working on building up the followers, which is nice. And I've been streaming for, well, in January it will be 2 years. So I'm sure I have plenty to learn. And I'm more than happy to give it my best shot. Okay, so I'm going to start hollowing this dude with my Splendor gouge. And I am going to leave it a little bit thick again because I want to carve the ridges in the pumpkin. I want to have it, but I'm going to have the general shape on the inside of the pumpkin. And I just had my brain remind me. Always a good thing. We want to occasionally check on the hole that we have with the pieces that we're trimming. I don't have a WhatsApp number, actually. I have not ever signed up for one. At least as far as I'm aware. I've never used one. And I guess, I don't know, what is that, like another kind of a messaging app? I think something like, I've heard of something called Telegram, which is a similar messaging app. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. Wow, I can really turn that deep down. But yeah, thank you. I'm gonna have to bop inside and cool my tool down a little bit too. Still got a decent edge. Well, let's take another pass before I do that.
Just sent you a message on IG.
Groovy, thank you. I will look for it later. So just a question: are you actually in Kingsley, as in Kingsley, Michigan?
Kingsley underscore 0127 said that was a mistake. Kingsley underscore 0127 said, what did you say just now?
Kingsley, does that mean you are in Kingsley, Michigan? I'll be right back. I'm gonna douse this tool steel into water here. Cool it down some. Hollowing this way does heat up the tool quite a bit. There we go. More so when the wood is seasoned like this is.
Kingsley underscore 0127 said, it's just a name that means king marker.
Gotcha. Just curious because there's a Kingsley, Michigan about 20 minutes from here. So again, thank you for being willing to discuss it. I'm sure there are a lot of features that I could be using that I don't use. I don't know how or even what the heck to choose, all that stuff. But my oldest son is an online gamer. He's got a Discord. That could be I think Twitch constrained Discord. I'll find out. I think Twitch constrained Discord. Let's see. I think a little bit more, a little bit thinner. Don't have to go too much further. Anyway, cool. All right. And yeah, I mean, Discord is a streaming platform, I suppose. So check it out.
Bye for now.
All right. Have a good one. Okay, need to sharpen this tool a bit. Crotchwood and maple crotchwood is kind of tough. It's turning pretty nice.
Kingsley underscore 0127 said, You can just drop me your Discord username on IG when you open one. Kingsley_0127. Say bye.
All righty. Thank you. Take it easy. That'll do. Well. There we go. That'll do. Alrighty then. Let's see. Yeah, I can go a little thinner. Got a good 3/8 inch thickness. Make some pretty deep lobes with that. Hey, how's it going, man? Whoopsie daisy, that actually slipped. Wow. Okay, I think that'll do. Oh, goodness. Come on now. Okay, now let's figure out. I need a hole big enough to put a tea light in. So there's that. That'll do. Let's see. Let's grab the sidewall scraper here. And then maybe a little bit bigger. Oh, yeah, for the tea light anyway. Maybe, let's see if I can hold it by the flame. Yeah, still a little bit bigger.
Two months said, best viewer stream go to
Oh, wait a minute. That's not the way I want to do it, is it? Okay, so normally when I carve a pumpkin, I've got the lid kind of beveled, right? I guess it doesn't really matter with a lidded box, but I don't know. Maybe we'll adjust that later. But the lid does need to sit at the same surface as this neck here. So at the very least, I need to do that. So I'm not done hollowing yet. I got a little bit more to do, but I'm going to use my negative rake scraper, which is not right here. This is a skew. Double check the burr on that. That should be okay for now. All right, so this will be the top of the pumpkin, obviously. Or maybe not, obviously. Clearly, it doesn't look like a pumpkin yet. Easy there, killer. Okay, still got a good wall thickness too. You know what? Let's redress the burr on this tool. And I have a feeling I should leave this running for a minute. So I will. I could lift this up just a skosh. Yeah, that'll do. No air, but that's all right. I can fix that really quick. Oh, I see there's a pith that's off center. That was doing some interesting things. Let's clean that up. Plus all those extra shavings in there are kind of binding up the tool. Yeah, that's a good thickness for carving. I'm going to leave it at that. I think I'll take this rim down a little. That is a 95 question. Yeah, I think I'll just make this a regular lid instead of, whatever. call normally carved pumpkin lid. It's more of a bevel all the way around. Let's see. Although, okay, so I got plenty to work with here. Thinkity think. Half a dozen one and 6 of the other, right? I just have to match the bevel, which I could do. What would that look like? I'd have to go through that. No, I'll just leave it the way it is because I will have a very, although in a pumpkin it would be the same. All right, we don't have to make it true to life, do we? Let's take that a little bit down deeper. So now that's ready for lid fit and check. I'm going to mark this guy because this is coming out of the chuck for now. I need to do this, which is why I made that little bit there in the first place. So the lid does not need to fit on tight, of course, and I'm not looking for a friction tight lid on this particular box. Just a cool little holiday, whatever, pumpkin, pumpkin carving. Oh, I didn't like that. I'll have to clean that up. Or do I? Alright, so I got to sneak up on the fit for this guy first. Oh, never mind. And then I'm going to create... Oh, actually, I should finish this tin so I can get the right depth. Because that doesn't seat all the way down. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, now let's work on this lid. Still have a spindle gouge. I do, and this is a little tall. Let's see, I should also slightly bevel that so that it sits out on the rim of this guy in that recess. That might not be enough. Cool. All right. So that should be enough. Let's see. I actually don't know if that's going to work in this chuck. I don't think so, but let's mark that guy and double check. Because I think I'm going to have to swap chucks for that. Yep, won't go anywhere near. Okay, no worries. I could do that now, or I could finish this guy. There's my mark, there's my mark. That's interesting. Let's see, all I really need to do is a little bit of torn out grain. There it is. Slightly punky in spots. There we go. But I think that will add to the charm. Okay. Now, oops, nope, I can make a little bit more. Let's mark the bottom of this guy. Something like that. Oh, well, that's it right there. Cool. Still got a spindle gouge, yes I do. You know, I don't have to do it this way, but that's also why I'm going to stop what I'm doing.
LWW's any plans for December 14th?
I don't know. I have to look at my calendar, but off the top of my head, I probably don't have anything that far ahead. Might have a holiday market thing, but I will have to find out. Not sure. Is that when the party's at for the Butterfly House and Bug Zoo? Because I sure would like to go to
Paranoid Squatch said, "Oh yeah, you have plans already the day with the zoo."
that. Well, this is the first time I've heard a date, so. Oh, I need to turn off that compressor. Oh, and my grinder. I didn't need to leave that running, it turns out. Okay, so since I'm holding this in a chuck, I am going to play around and
Paranoid
find.
Squatch said, "We just picked it 5 minutes ago. Wanted to tell you before I forget."
Thanks, man. Yeah, I really want to go. So, pumpkin ribs are typically not necessarily even. Oh, I've got one more thing I really need to be doing. I need to include the lid on this because I got to carve the same lines. And I really need to get rid of some of these tools. Okay. So back to the live center. And let's see. That would be over here somewhere. Right? Yep, that's where all the spalting is at. There we go. That looks like that matches there pretty well. Ah, there we are. Got the lines. Okay. That's interesting. Hmm. Well, let's figure out where that sound is coming from. Don't hear it now. So I must not have enough pressure on the tailstock. That's what I'm going with. Does still sound like it's a little bit loose. There we go. Alright, let's put this away. Put that away. I need that guy. So I want to continue this curve. This is a dumb question, but okay, so the sound is that I didn't have enough pressure on the tailstock. That should be just enough, I think. I only need to turn a little bit more on that so that surface will be all right. So let's make this. I can make any adjustments I need to later. Give this a bit of a curve. And then from there, I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play around with the, it still seems a little thick. That was an interesting sight. I want to see that again. Okay, so I need the sand there. Well, actually, not really. I'm gonna carve there. So I've continued that curve. I'm gonna drop the thickness of this down a little bit. I don't think I need that much to carve. And then I'm going to play around with the stem doesn't have to be like perfectly centered. But I do want to get down there. I'm going to carve this. Let's see, what's a good diameter for that? I'm going to say that is right there. And I'm going to carve this, give it kind of a bent stem. So that's more or less, I mean, we can call that centered. It is actually centered, but it doesn't have to be. I mean, I can still have plenty. I can carve away some of that even to shift it to one side or the other if I want to, depending on how I think it looks. Whoopsie daisy. Let's tighten that down. Oh yeah, now I need it. We'll use this one instead. Now I could use a skew. There we go. All right, so that's the top. Now let's go back to drawing some lines here. So I had started here. So let's kind of play around with that. I think that was yep, that was it right there. Take that magnet off. All right, so let's go. It's not going to be wide enough. Let's go to the next one up. That's too wide. So we'll take it back there. There we go. Get that up onto the lid. Get that up onto the lid. So I'm just going to carve one leaf or two. And the rest of it will be carved away. And I'll still be able to see those ridges in some parts on the pumpkin. Let's see what that is. That's too much. Let's go to that. And then let's go to that. There. They're generally symmetrical, sort of, kind of in shape, but they're not necessarily, every ridge is the same. Too far. There we go. Let's go up to this one. No, we'll go up to this one. Nope, that's too far. We'll go to this one. So these are my carving lines. These are the valleys that I'm going to carve into this thing. So those will be rounded over eventually. That's too much, isn't it? There we go. And as I'm carving, if I want to change the shape a little bit, I can do that. I'm not tied to any of these lines in particular. I just want to kind of lay things out. That's too far. It's not far enough. There we go. So you have an idea of where I guess the term would be lobes, yeah? The lobes of the squash are. I think that one's too thin. So we're going here. That's too much. There we go. So I'll go with that. So almost there. Oops, nope, we don't want that. Let's see, let's take this one. I gotta finish erasing that if I can. So take, yeah, so let's move this one a little bit. Don't guess I really had to do that. I mean, again, pumpkins aren't like perfect. The squash, the way it lays on the ground, all that stuff affects how it grows. All right, so now we're going to draw the face. Now that I have this laid out, I know where the lobes are going to be. I can actually kind of place my face. Let's see, I think if I do it on this plain side, so we'll call that the center, so we'll make this the nose. Put some eyes over here. I don't know how we're going to do that yet. I think I need to make the mouth wider at the bottom. Alright, let's see. What kind of teeth do we want to give this guy? Some buck teeth, maybe? Let's see. Make him a scary pumpkin. Doesn't need a whole lot of teeth, that's for sure. I could do that. Why not? It's Halloween. Did I miss a tooth? Looks like I missed a tooth. Oh, I wanted those to be bigger, so we'll make these a little bit smaller. I think that's going to be too crowded. So we want this to be the center line. Let's make that fang and that fang go that direction. And we'll do two up top. Just like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to carve this out. Then I will carve the lines. I want to have these holes in here. So I think we should do something like this. Nope, I want it down right about here. I don't know how that's going to work out. Actually, we just want the eye. So we will do it like this. Leave a bridge. And then I don't know how that's going to translate. So tra-na-na, la-na-na-na, da-da-da-da-da. Alright, that needs to go up this way. Down like that. Way down there. Need to erase. There we go. So how do I want to carve that out? I think that's too far of a point, but that's right. We'll play with that. This needs to be a little bit wider here. And a little bit more narrow there. All right, so... And I think the nose could be a little bit bigger. There. And I also think the eyes could be bigger. We'll get there, man. I'm making them too small. I can tell you that right now. All right, I can leave the eyebrows. I'll just extend them up. This over. All right, so I want an eye here. here. Cut it downward like that and around it. Something like that. And then I can trace around that. So I will want that line. Come all the way around. I'll stop it there. Bring it back. Set the eye there. Be a cross-eyed kind of dude. You know what? We don't need to do that though. We can actually make an eyeball right here in the center. That won't be too terribly hard to carve away. So I will carve this stuff away, and that's where the light will shine through. All right, so I want to have this come back to here. Bring it down. It's right about there. And then we want to stop it right there. So let's put the other eye there. It's a little thinner than it needs to be, but we can make adjustments when we carve. So I'm going to carve all of that out. We'll leave the teeth in, nose out. We'll cut out those features. Yeah, this should be fun. Okay, that goes up to, where does this go to again? Up and over to that light, which I don't need at the moment. Let's put this away too. For me, I think it'd be a lot easier to make those holes. You know, I need to make a mark here where the lid will line up for me later. Let's pick a wider one. How about that one? So I can line it up when I'm carving those. Okay. Plug this dude in. Don't need that light. No, you can stop toying with me. That would be nice. Okay, well, this will be a little bit loud, but that's okay. I think we'll use a little bit different bit on that part. Now that doesn't make a whole lot of sense either. It's not cutting the way I'd like it to. That will probably, you know what, that might work. I do have a little bit thicker wall thickness because I want the lobes to be pretty pronounced. That means I need to change the collet now. But hey, that's easily done. Alley-oop. Okay. So let's just take that collet out. Okay. Ordered some new carbide carving bits That will, in theory anyway, help me do this a little bit more efficiently. Maybe even a little bit faster. Okay. I gotta look at that. That seems. Yeah, that's okay. Let's line my mark back up. There it is. Fairly thick. Didn't need that to happen. It's making a little bit more dust than I thought it would. So I'm going to put my mask on. What are we doing on time? At 9:30. Okay, cool. Oh, wrong switch. Well, that was a lot more dust. You know what? My computer is also not covered, so I don't want to get any more dust in my computer than I need to. There we go. Let's see, I'm going to extend this bit out just a bit. Okay. Just a little bit. Trying not to bend my extension too much or too tight. So do that shaping or refining by hand. And I take it out of the chuck. Woo, that's getting warm. Woo, doggy. Got both sides of that cutter touching wood there. Wanted to dance around a bit. All right, let's see if we can pull this off. I think that might be asking a little bit much. Whoa, what's that? Okay. Had a blinky light there for a second. All right, so I'm giving some serious consideration to hollowing this out a little bit more so I don't have to put so much stress on the cutter. I didn't think it would be this big of a, well, I mean, it's not a huge deal, but it's taken a little bit longer. Carving takes a while, but it's taken a little bit longer than I would like. Come on. I guess I could get all that stuff out of there. Good thing I'm wearing a mask. So just use my bowl gouge really fast. Yeah, maybe a little bit thinner. This time I'll grab this guy. Okay, that'll be a little more doable for the carving. Yeah, there we go. Okay, back to carving. Throwing shavings everywhere. Oh, wrong switch, Dave. I'm just taking this down in stages. All right. So I got my mark there for the chuck. How are we doing on time? Okay. So let's clean this up a bit. Ah. Groovy. All right. So now that part's done, there is no, torn out grain or whatever. I am going to use, yeah, we'll leave it the way it is. That's fine. Okay, time to carve the rest of it. So actually, what I think I'm going to do here is score these, put these lines in. Ah, dang it. Alright, so I can get rid of that. That's not helping any. Ah, come on, dude. There we go. And then I'm going to want to do the same. I'll carve that in a bit. Let's change this guy out. I guess I probably should have started this project, oh boy, yesterday, but yesterday was lathe fixing day and testing. All right. Let's go swap checks. Okay. There we are. Ooh, that made a lot of dust. Hey, what the heck, man? Oh, no, I can't have misplaced that key. And it wasn't in the shavings that I cleaned up. Oh, it's probably in my bag. Hold on a second. Yep. Let's get this bottom taken care of. Oh. Let me sand that nub off. Come here. Cool. Get a little bit more air there. All right. Turn that dude off for a bit. Pardon me when I blow my nose. I can see that this camera lens has gotten a little dusty there. All right, so let's carve the main body. You know what would really be helpful? What would really be helpful is if I had a table right here. There we go. Ouch. Oh, this is a terrible. This is supposed to be a card by bit. It is terrible. Ah, the flutes are cut the wrong way. Can't reverse it. That's why it's not cutting worth a damn. Yeah, that's not doing the job. Time to change. Bits on that guy. That's definitely not doing the job. Okay, let's go back up top here. Let's see what I got. Come here. No, this cannot be that short. Alright, let's get the... I'm gonna have to change my collet anyway, so we'll get the other bits from inside. There. And I don't know what I'm gonna do with that bit. Could recycle it, I suppose, but I don't know if I can turn it in there. Probably can't turn it into anything since it's high speed steel. Let's see, let's grab those. What do we got here? Oh, that's a good one. It's a little small. It's not what I'm looking for. You're too small, my friend. Thank you. Okay, that's what I got to work with. Whoops, no. Don't toss it back. We want that one. Okay. Golly, these, oh, that's where this came from, was this. Well, let's try that one and see. Maybe all these bits are no good for this job. And maybe I'm carving sooner than I should be. Waiting on the bits that I ordered. Alright, let's try this other one. My carving career for the evening, whoops, may be over sooner than I thought. There we go. I don't own a Fordham. That would be an interesting thing. Quarter horsepower, certainly stronger than a Dremel. But I found, at least with the Dremel, so far with the right bit. And it's hard to know. It's like a learning curve to learn which bit you should be using for whatever process you're doing. I know that some of the bits are labeled as, multi-use for certain things, and what my experience is that that's not really the case. And the carbide, this is a single fluted, but the double fluted ones work better on the timber. All right. Hey, thanks. It's meant to be a pumpkin. Yes, it is. So it's meant to be a Halloween, a jack-o'-lantern Halloween. So it's a lidded box, but or not. Well, I mean, sort of a lidded box, right? But definitely a pumpkin. Yes, I hollowed it out and then carved the face. I actually had to hollow out a little bit more after that because it's still a little too thick. But now I'm doing the lobes of the pumpkin here. Had to find a bit that would actually work on the timber. None of these will, which is a bummer. So I don't know. Maybe they're meant for. I mean, oh, nice. Yeah. There it is. And I do believe I'm gonna need the mask. All right, so got the mask on. Let's keep going. So I got a half an hour. Basically, I'm just gonna keep carving, man. We'll see how far we get. Now, what I plan to do after carving with this bit, because it's a round nose, I'm going to go back over the valley with a straight nose. So I didn't really draw lines down here. But I didn't really think it was necessary. And if the lobes meander a bit, it just gives it more, it makes it more realistically looking like a pumpkin, more recognizably. There we go, recognizably, a squash of some type. We'll call the pumpkin since everybody is this time of year anyway used to seeing images related to that carved into squash. You know how it is, man. Nature does her thing. All kind of random and beautiful. Well, not necessarily really random, but you get what I'm saying. Things meander. Curved lines seem to be fairly common in nature. So I'll use a bunch of them here. And of course we'll have to play with the texture of the pumpkin. I could wood burn it. So let's see what kind of stuff makes itself known as we get through the carving here. That's good. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's watching. I don't know if he knows how to watch yet. I don't know. I think he watches YouTube. I know he did mention he watches YouTube videos a lot. That's pretty much his entertainment is YouTube videos. He doesn't really watch TV, so. But you know, he might be watching this channel. So Jim Scarcella, uh, howdy, man. Thanks again for a great class. I mean, did give me some really good ideas. A lot of really good tips. And I'm quite sure with some practice you have helped me up my game, sir. Thank you. Wow, those sculpting lines are really looking nice on this shape. I kind of got the, oh, here, man, I'll give you a bird's eye view. So I've got the extension cable around over my shoulder to keep it as straight as I possibly can. It's got a curve to the shaft, of course, but trying to, not kink it up too much. It's still getting a little warm, but otherwise seems to be doing okay. But a little tip there, and I really picked that up mostly from um, using the Fordham for the first time. So yeah, you want to keep those shafts, the flexible shafts, as straight as you can. You can have some curve to it, but you don't want like a lot of tight curves when you're using the tool, because it shortens the life of the flexible shaft. Well, stuff. So I carried that over to the Dremel shaft. I figured it would be same logic. But it also it lets me know, that I can feel the heat, and that's what it gives me a feedback on, how hard this thing is working, and should I take a break, let it cool down, whatever. So Sea Chat went nuts. Oh, this thing is giving me dentist vibes. Yeah, I was just kind of chuckling to myself. I feel like I'm kind of in the dentist office, actually doing the work. Let's carve these teeth right up. I could have brought my micromotor out. It's a lot quieter, but hey man, this is already here. Still probably would hear the tool like this, the cutter up on the wood like this one is. It just wouldn't be so, the motor wouldn't be so loud. But I am using a raz nose bit, and number one is because this is the first bit besides the cutter that let me cut out the features that's working on this timber. But two, because the surface of pumpkins is kind of round, so using a round nose bit kind of helping me make that topography, make that feature. Sometimes using a straight, a square end bit, cut a little too deep. And make a line with the edge of the tool that I don't want to make. I still haven't made final decision as to whether or not that I'll paint this, but the idea is that I'm not going to paint it. This is nice. This bit is working really, really well with the slightly punky part when I go across it and not tearing out chunks. It's nice. I honestly did not know. And that's, a big thing I learned in gym class. These cardboard bits work a lot better than the high-speed steel one. And I imagine they probably have a longer life. Well, I guess that depends on the user too. A great deal. You know what? Actually, I think I won't go over this again with a square nose. I'm thinking these dollars are turning out just fine. Just a little bit of cleanup here and there. Yeah. Doing on time. Got about 15 minutes left. Well, I'm going to keep on keeping on. Clearly, I'm not going to finish this broadcast. But I'll make sure to show the finished piece at the earliest possible broadcast. We'll just say, in the future edition. How's that? So yeah, I guess y'all get to see behind the scenes. Now one of those behind the scenes things. Like how long does it take your car? Well, it takes a while. Some of Jim Scarcella's pieces take quite a while. But I think I will eventually, with some more practice, start getting more and more detailed. Which would be nice. Yeah, this bit's handling this timber really, really nicely. I don't know any dentist jokes. I guess this would be a good time for dentist jokes. And maybe everybody has tuned out because of the sound. I don't know. So hopefully not, but or at least turn the sound off. I will eventually have to make some final decisions here on what I want to do with the surface beyond carving it. I might just put a clear coat on it. I could leave it if I was intending to paint it. I could leave it in a little bit rougher form. Because, nature, I'm not really. There we go. Fortunately, this is not setting my teeth on edge or anything, but I can certainly understand. Those people that it does affect that way. So saying, like, for instance, clean that up. If I was going to actually paint this, I wouldn't have to be so super meticulous. I'd want to clean up like these lines. But you can see, let's see if I can bring this closer. It's still a little bit rough in there. And I'm thinking about, looking at pumpkins. They're all different. They all have different features and things going on with them. So having variegated, having a texture on the surface doesn't hurt. But even so, I could leave it this way also and just put a clear coat on it, or maybe some walnut oil. I don't know. Maybe darken it up a little bit. I really did think about the dye, but I don't know, man. I don't know. If I do dye it, I want it to be subtle. I don't want it to be a heavy dye job. I don't really care for that too much. There's some instances when you're doing like a tie-dye or cosmic pattern, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of, you have those complementary colors blending together, but and it's a darker, usually more opaque, I guess would be a better term. But for this, I really want as much of the wood grain to show through as I can. As much of the sculpting, all of it. Because I think it looks really, really nice. So it turns out choosing this piece was a lucky choice. This is looking really nice. So naturally, I guess in my case anyway, I really don't want to cover that up. Well, getting close to the end of the broadcast, and it's actually kind of a good thing because this extension is starting to feel a little warm on my back of my nape of my neck, and I think it needs to take a break and cool down a bit before I start working with it some more. But I'm going to finish this valley here first. I do see I need to change up where my lighting is. Can you see that? Yeah, I guess you can. I'm just rounding over all the edges, trying to make sure I've got no really sharp lines in there. Occasional odd mark if it, blends in with the lobe in some way, I'll leave them alone. Alright, let's this over a little more, and then we'll shut this thing down. Oops. Alright, well, that got quite a bit of it. Just got to work on the face now, which shouldn't be too bad. I've got a good 3/8 thickness, so making those ridges and everything. It's like carving, just on the actual pumpkin. You'll have those ridges, so that's what I was going after. Okay, so that's how far we got. We got the lid to go to, and where's my registration mark? Is that it? I better keep track of that. That's it, because I could carve that right off. And I don't think that's a good idea. So let's put another one here. And I'd probably carve that away. These are fairly wide. Oh, I see there was one there as well. So you know what? Let's just remake it. So we got 3 registration marks. When I carve the leaves, then I will carve the rest of the valley in there. But I want to carve like 2 leaves somewhere on here. Most of this will all get carved away. But I want to get two leaves on here in some fashion, in a 3D relief, right? To have it raised up off of there. I think that'll look pretty cool too. So there we have it. That's where we're at so far. I think I can actually take off this mask. Let's see. if I do this. Ooh, man, my safety glasses were quite dusty. That's much better. Okay, let's get this off of there. So again, this is where we're at. Nice little hollow pumpkin. I'll be able to put a tea light down on the bottom. Light that face up. I think that'll be fun. Just something fun to do before Halloween. So, happy Halloween to y'all. Should you celebrate it or whatever? Happy Halloween. I'll just say that. Um, Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. My name is Dave. If you have come in here at the last minute, don't catch it at the beginning. I usually little blurb at the end. I love this project, says Abbott. Thanks, man. I think it's. Just thought it would be fun. It'd be cool. So I'll make sure to show it off when it's done, or maybe I'll even pick it up again next week and just keep going with this until it's finished. I don't know. I'll play with the idea, but in any case, it'll get shown on this channel. Oh, here I am. Uh, moving this thing around, thinking, oh yeah, you can see that just fine, and the camera's off. So maybe one of those things will happen, or I'll just keep working on it and then show it when it's finished. I can't wait to get a tea light in there just to see. But this is kind of fun. It's kind of fun. All right, so thanks for joining me. Thank you very much for the support that you show this channel by showing up and watching the broadcast, participating in chat. Maybe you've purchased a subscription. Thank you very much. I appreciate all the support that I can get on this channel. It's been a pretty cool community. And I'm just really enjoying being able to stream and do the things that I do. So thanks for watching and being my audience and my support team, I guess, would be the thing, right? Even if you're lurking in the background and you're watching the channel, and that adds to the metrics. So thank you. So again, I came in late in the game. My name's Dave. I'm a woodturner. I started turning as therapy for PTSD. Found out I had a knack for it and really fell in love with it. And then I started teaching it. Fell in love with that. So I started this channel to become a better teacher and a better demonstrator for sure, and a better turner, because the secret sauce is practice. There's no shortcuts. Everything it's practice, practice, practice. Um, and so, I tell people, hey, you got to give yourself the permission to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. That's all there is to it. Everybody does. Even the most seasoned turners make mistakes. I don't like to use the word mistakes because often, at least for me, they are design changes. I do my best to roll with everything, and incorporate it or change the design or whatever I need to do. Usually I try to incorporate whatever it is into what I'm turning, just because, well, that's part of it now. If I can fix it, cool. If, I don't know, like if it's busted or whatever, I don't know if there's a serious issue, whatever I can do to mitigate it. That's what I shoot for. Sometimes it's not possible. Sometimes it's just the piece is gone and you got to know. And I still struggle with that sometimes. You got to know when to quit. I've gotten a lot better about it over the years. That's for sure. You got to kind of know where to send your energy, I guess. As a new turner, I was like all about everything, and I was doing all kinds of stuff, punky, split, resin, and just doing whatever, turning whatever. And then as I started getting that practice in and started, like, I don't know, finding my vibe, I guess, whatever you want to call that. I'm still kind of looking at that. I'm still playing around with design ideas and stuff like that, especially with like because I do want to do an 8-piece dinner set out of wood. Now, I want to do one. I already automatically have to do three because I mentioned it to a friend who said I want one. It's like, okay, all right, so I got to do that. And, and another one says, oh, I want one. I'm like, okay, I got to do that. So, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun because I'm figuring out what that design um, theme is for me for this dinnerware. I just think it'll be fun to turn all these things. It'll be excellent practice for duplication, production. I mean, a whole 9 yards. Design, all that. It just combines it all, and I just think it'll be a really really fun project when I get to that point. Right now, I'm more in the design part of it, trying to figure out what I want that design to look like. And I think I just hit on I think I just hit it on it, maybe last night. So that's kind of cool. But anyway, it's probably time I should sign off. And again, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. I hope you stay friendly. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, and I hope to see you next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, 8 to 11 Eastern Standard Time. As long as the lathe is working, I probably should say final joking, but hey, thanks, Abaddis. I appreciate that. Abaddis says wicked stream as always. And that would be a Canadian term, wicked. Although I guess a lot of the Northeasterners here, Boston maybe uses wicked. I don't know. But thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Catch you all later. Good night.